The movie starts in Utica, New York, with a truck driver nicknamed Clean who works as a garbage collector in a rundown, crime-infested urban neighborhood. During his work, he gathers things that can still be used and sets them aside because he believes they might come in handy. After his night shift, he heads back home with some of these collected items. In his quest for redemption, Clean reveals that he carries the guilt of his past actions, symbolized by his dirty, blood-covered hands. He then goes to a scrapyard, prepares food for his dog, and attends AA meetings, where he meets Travis, an ex-military man who used to be addicted to pills, while Clean struggled with a different kind of addiction, violence. At home, Clean lives alone after losing his daughter and getting divorced from his wife. He cooks chicken and fixes an item he found while collecting garbage. In the morning, he visits his neighbors and offers a meal to a teenage girl named Diana. Although she acknowledges his kindness, she reminds him that he's not her father. In return, she gives him a handmade bracelet. She then takes the school bus, and Clean heads to a thrift shop, where he sells one of the salvaged items. While there, Clean becomes briefly fixated on a woman who wants to buy a gun but later buys paint from another woman. Clean dedicates some of his time to painting over graffiti in his neighborhood, trying to make a positive impact. In the morning, he notices new tenants moving in and offers food to Diana. However, he eyes the newcomers with suspicion. While sleeping, Clean has visions of his deceased daughter, which stir strong emotions when he looks at her picture. The next day, at Travis's barbershop, Travis advises Clean that it's sometimes better to let go of the past and focus on how to live with it. The story introduces Michael, a notorious drug lord who comes to pick up his son, Mikey, from prison. However, Mikey chooses to leave with his friends, disappointing his father. Even though Michael is angry, he decides to overlook it. At work, Clean learns that he needs to cover more areas due to staffing cuts. He collects garbage at different locations. While doing his job near a seafood restaurant owned by Michael, he notices some thugs involved in drug trafficking but decides to ignore them and continues working. Back at his home, Clean is haunted by his past, particularly the loss of his daughter. The following day, Clean finds Diana walking to school because the school bus no longer serves the area. He offers her a ride, and during the journey, she wonders why he's always alone and doesn't have a girlfriend. Clean explains that he's not good with women and prefers to focus on his work. Meanwhile, at Michael's house, Mikey returns with his friends, and when Michael discovers they're missing 5 pouches of cocaine, he realizes the Chinese transporters are stealing from him. Clean repairs a bicycle that belonged to his daughter and drop it at Diana's house to help her move to school. Shortly, Diana's grandmother named Ethel moves out and informs him that he shouldn't be concerned because she is not her daughter. Clean replies to her that he is doing it to save himself as a lost soul. She tells him that the streets used to be happy with kids everywhere before the gangsters destroyed them, that they now hide the children inside houses. Ethel tells him that she saw him painting the streets, and that he is a good guy, but Clean tells him that he is not. While at Travis's, Clean reveals to him about his experience when he had just bought a bicycle for his daughter. He always felt happy seeing her ride it and always gets her memories. Michael spends time in church as his cocaine businesses keep on running. They pack the cocaine in small grams and supply in at the area as well as the neighborhood, disguising as fish supply. The Chinese transporters have delivered again, and while offloading he calls Mikey to come closer. He hits the Chinese team leader with a hammer multiple times to act as a lesson to the rest. He later warns the remaining members to check their scales before telling Mikey to clean the squids. That night, while collecting the garbage, Clean notices blood in the glasses of the Chinese Michael brutally murdered. He wonders but proceeds to empty the trash, though shortly Michael appears behind him. He apologizes for the stench and tries offering him cigarettes, but Clean refuses. He attempts to tip him, but still Clean declines and leaves peacefully. The next day, while driving, his car breaks down, hence stopping in a bad neighborhood. He goes on to check the problem, but shortly a group of thugs run past him, chasing someone into the alley. He then hears the man screaming, which forces him to go see what is happening. He finds them ruthlessly kicking the man, and he stands there watching in a dilemma. Shortly they turn to him, but as they move closer, another thug appears from behind and hit him out with a baseball bat. Clean wakes up in the hospital where he is being attended to, but he gets memories when his daughter found him drugging himself. The doctor gives him a medicine prescription, but Clean refuses to take it. At work he gets given a leave due to liabilities, and on his way home he finds Diana outside at night. Informing him that her grandmother went with the keys, he invites her to his house. Diana notices that he is not in a good condition, and while moving around she notices a wooden box. As she opens it, Clean shockingly stops her, which scares her to run away. At Michael's mansion he tries to talk to Mikey, but Mikey is busy rehearsing rap music. This angers Michael to confront him, but Mikey threatens him with a knife. Unable to kill his father, Mikey decides to run away from home. As Clean drives by, he notices Diana hanging with a group of thugs and tell her to go home because it's late. But Diana coldly replies he's not her father to order her around. The thugs get confrontational and order Clean to leave, but Diana finally agrees with Clean's request to avoid an argument. Back at the AA meeting, one man talks about the demons that always hunt people, making them lose hope that they can't do anything. Upon moving outside, he approaches Clean and tells him that his face looks familiar, though Clean denies. He reveals that he recognizes him as a partner to a notorious gangster. Clean works to clean up an abandoned building with graffiti. Upon looking inside, he seems as if he noticed someone inside, which prompts him to move inside and check out. Suddenly, he comes across a toolbox with a wrench pipe inside. At night, while driving around, he notices Diana's bicycle outside the thug's house. Inside, they are smoking drugs and taking alcohol, and Diana happens to be with them. She stands to move out, but one of them starts to record her. They stop her from moving out in an attempt to rape her. Clean moves to the door and notices Diana inside, which prompts him to beat the thugs with the wrench pipe. He ruthlessly hit everyone inside, even the thug attempting to rape Diana. Mikey happens to be among the thugs beaten, but Clean embraces Diana, though the phone is recording. Clean takes Diana back to her grandmother, though Michael is with injured Mikey. The doctor informs him that Mikey needs a surgery or else he might not be able to speak again, but Michael refuses so that it acts as a lesson to Mikey. He watches the recording from the prior night, revealing Clean's identity. Frank, a corrupt officer, informs him that Clean is a trash man staying in the hood. Knowing that Clean might have run away, Michael orders Frank to kill Diana and Ethel in a messy way so that they hurt Clean before getting him. On the other hand, Clean is leaving the town with Diana and Ethel, but shortly a police officer orders him to pull over. After stopping, he notices the officer to be those bribed by Michael. He speeds off his car after realizing the officer works with Michael, and after a while he drifts off the main road, managing to evade the police. In an attempt to change their vehicle, they stop at a bowling alley and diner. Diana escorts Ethel to use the washrooms as Clean moves around the parking lot looking for a car to steal. While driving around, some of Michael's henchmen notice Clean's car, and upon confirmation they move out to head to the diner. As they enter, Diana and Ethel are also moving out, hence running back. As Clean waits for Diana and Ethel, he notices one of the henchmen and take him away instantly before making his move and take his axe. The other henchmen are still pursuing Diana and Ethel, who run to the back rooms of the building. They find somewhere and hide, though it seems a weak spot. As the henchmen nearly reach them, Clean appears suddenly and engages them with their own axe. The fight gets tense, but Clean manages to dispatch them in a hand-to-hand combat. Putting them all down, Clean goes on to meet Diana and Ethel and call them to leave. We flash back one night when Clean was still a professional assassin. Upon returning home, he notices his drug syringe missing, only to realize that his daughter had used it. Unluckily, the daughter had passed on, which broke Clean down because it was his fault. Given the love he had for her, his life ever since never stayed the same. At a motel, Ethel blames Clean that they aren't able to return home. Clean promises to make things right and returns to his neighborhood to meet Travis. He tells Travis about the problems caused by Michael. He gathers money from his place and goes to a thrift shop to buy some guns. The person at the shop recommends a good gun for his needs. Clean collects more stuff and plans, but Frank gets a call revealing Clean's past as a feared professional assassin known as the Grim Reaper. Clean calls Michael, warns him that he knows where he lives, and says he's coming for him. Clean uses his skills to make a silencer for a shotgun. He gets ready, showing his notorious back tattoo from his past. He wears an armor vest and equips himself with different weapons, loading them into his vehicle. Michael gets his men ready and tightens security. Clean goes back to collecting garbage. While parked near Michael's house, he sets a trap on the electric box. He's already taken out the guards outside and heads to his garbage truck. When Michael and his crew are celebrating with a drink, Clean crashes the garbage truck into Michael's house, triggering his trap, cutting the power. Michael's men start shooting at the truck. Clean, however, surprises them by opening fire. Frank confronts him and they get into a fight. Clean manages to shoot Frank with a flare gun. Clean continues chasing Michael, almost shooting him by surprise. He shoots at him again, but before he can finish the job, Mikey appears and shoots Clean. Then, he empties his gun, firing at his own father. Unfortunately, he runs out of bullets. Some time after the fight, Diana's neighborhood is now safe from criminal activities. More kids come out to play on the street. Diana spots a garbage truck approaching and smiles, marking the end of the movie. Thanks for watching, and if you're new, don't forget to subscribe for more recaps like these.